We're in the biggest loom in New York City where we host beautiful experiences for people to come and create and be their inner self. I think the biggest problem that artists are facing right now is that in school, they teach you how to create. They don't teach you the most important part. They don't know how to survive with art.
Welcome to another episode of Great Things. Today we are at Creative Minds in Brooklyn and we are going to be creating some beautiful tapestry. I can't wait to show you what we're doing today. Follow along with me. Aldo, what's going on?
Amigo.
Thank you for having us. Follow us.
You ready, Rockstar?
Maybe.
Of course you're ready.
This space is in Brooklyn.
Yes.
Right? In the heart of Williamsburg. And this is kind of like where everyone comes to create. So you host classes here, but you also have an upstairs, which is where you have all the merchandise.
We have a retail store where we support a lot of artisans. We support a family that makes rugs. And the most important thing is everything's handmade. Absolutely.
Everything is handmade.
Except where you're stepping on.
Okay, so just not this.
Just not this.
And so how long has Creative Minds been in business for?
8 months, my bro.
8 months?
8 months, compadre. That's it.
Okay, so you are young, new, vibrant.
We're still a startup in a sense of, business terminology, but what we have been able to cultivate in 8 months has been really, really eye-opening of what it's in need in this world right now.
I like the name, Creative Minds. How did you come up with this for the business?
That's a great question. We wanted to be just a neutral ground where everybody could come and talk and share and learn their culture and just learn. Once again, have human contact. It describes what this story is. In 8 months, there's a ton of minds working behind it to be able to bring it up to what it is right now.
Is this always what you've been into, or is this new for you?
This is new for me.
This is new for you?
This is new for me.
So previously, what were you doing?
Previously, I was in the car industry. I worked there for 5.5 years.
The car guy.
Yeah, I saw you have a BMW in your phone. I was speaking. I sold Cadillacs and GMCs for 5.5 years, and there's where I found my obsession, which is people. Connecting with them and helping them, truly. And that's when I found this, and I was just like, this is the same thing, but in a deeper level. It's just not a transactional thing. It's about, let me show you you're creative. Because people come here, I'm not creative. I'm like, I don't know about that. Let me shine your bone today. And then they leave like, dude, this is fucking awesome. I didn't know that I could do this. And I was like, wow, this is truly powerful. This business came to life of 6 months of me and Mahmoud on the road. This all, Adrian, was on a truck. We were going trade shows, trade show to trade show to trade show. Because when we first met, this is a funny story. He was like, Aldo, I want to start a store. And I was like, wow, that's awesome. It's like, all right, do you have any money? I was like,
first thing
great question. I don't have any money.
Yeah.
Do you have any money? No. It's like, you're pretty good at sales, right? I'm like, okay. It's like, I'm pretty good at sales too. It's like, let's get on the road and let's sell.
Now that you're here, 8 months in, you've obviously had some ups, downs, right?
Yeah.
You've learning lessons. What are you trying to create?
We're trying to create a space where people could come and feel safe and create. A space for them to be here and feel they're part of something. That's bigger than me, that's bigger than Mahmoud. Here, it's like I teleported you to a Bedouin tent.
Yeah, I would not know that I'm sitting in New York City at all.
And then now when we start weaving, you'll be able to even teleport yourself to different countries, and we'll show you why.
Okay, let's weave.
All right, let's set this up. When it's not perfect, that's when the soul and the art itself and the rug and whatever it's created, it's born.
You were saying that both you and your business partner, you're from Mexico, he's Syrian.
Yes.
Culturally, I would assume that things are a little bit different. So how do you weave both of those into what you have here?
You want to know something funny? We're the same. We cook phenomenal food, we're dramatic, we may be good looking sometimes, and it's all about the family and the community. Mahmoud taught me how to weave, he's my mentor. Mahmoud's family has been weaving for over 300 years.
Oh, wow.
He saw the opportunity of teaching it and making it more accessible to people, and I love that. I always like art, but I think the true and no nonsense is the devotion and the passion that I have for the craftsmanship, and the respect more than anything. I respect people that are weavers, that they do it full time, because it's a dying art.
Yeah.
You're sacrificing your body to make a rug. Now that's beauty.
My grandma always said, and this is why we created the series, great things take time. And
of course.
There's a patience to weaving that I'm sure people need to have.
A big part of a store is finding people that make stuff by hand and supporting them. I think the biggest problem that artists are facing right now is that they don't know how to survive with art. People pivot because they can't sell, they can't survive. How do they live? So that's what we're trying to focus on and hone in 100%. I think that has more value than just going to something that has been made 1,000 times by a machine.
So how long did this take you to learn? You said you had this respect and there was this passion, but like something like this isn't easy.
We traveled the country 6 months, and for 6 months when we were not selling, I was weaving. And I was making the ugliest tapestries in the world, but it all worked out.
It all worked out.
Look at you, you're flowing now. I don't even have to be here anymore.
No, I still need supervision the whole time. Would you say that social media has helped you in any way?
A ton. We have had the opportunity to work with influencers.
Sure.
That has given us a ton of traction for people to come and find out about us more than anything. And I think the most intuitive and like attractive thing of the studio is that there's a Mexican and a Syrian working together, which is not a very common thing to do.
At all. Meant to be, right? You would say?
Yeah.
You meeting and saying, you want to start a business? Sure. You have money? No. You have money? No. You have an idea? Yes. Okay, we can figure this out. I think starting a business in New York is one of the hardest things. What do you love, and what do you dislike?
The problems that we have right now are beautiful. It's exciting to have this problem. When you start a business, and there's one thing I learned, you have to have a pain tolerance that is extremely high.
Yeah, if you focus on the negative only, you're going to only attract the negative.
Yes. Yeah. So if you would have asked me a year ago, oh, you're going to have this problem, Aldo, like, you're full of shit. Get out of here. And now I'm like, oh my God, I have these beautiful problems that we got to fix. And when we fix them, it's going to be better.
Yeah.
So that's just the way I've been looking at it now.
It's a positive mindset. It's really, really good.
Look, if we make it like that, I think it'll look better.
On average, a piece, how long does a piece take?
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
For you, for me,
No.
30 days.
No. For everybody that comes, it takes 2.5 hours.
So if someone was to come and take a class here, 2.5 hours, they could create a piece.
Yes.
Wow, it's pretty impressive.
But you're doing a phenomenal job.
But you know what my thing is? I'm a beginner at something, and it's okay not to be great.
Of course.
Yeah. I think everyone they feel this pressure. All of a sudden they're trying something new a lot of times, and that's why people don't try new things, because they don't want to be bad at something.
Yeah,
but that's a part of it.
There it is. So as soon as we do one, we skip over to the next one. There you go. You see how satisfying it is when you're flowing?
It actually really is.
That looks great.
Okay. Now, if someone was to create a full size, something like this, how long would that take?
5 months, 6 months?
I mean, when you justify the price point, this is why.
Yeah.
Because it takes so long. And I think people probably don't understand that.
Yeah.
Probably. Aldo, thank you so much
for
having all of us today at
course.
Creative Minds. If people want to come here and weave with you, how can they book classes?
So we have classes Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they could find us on Instagram, and we have a website, creativemindsspeakny.com.
Appreciate the energy today, brother. Y'all, thank you for joining us for another episode of Great Things. We'll see you next time.